2014. But it is the stars of today that are getting ready to go to battle for 20 laps off turn number 4. Aaliyah DeSoma will lead him back to the green flag. Green is out, we're underway, and Aaliyah drag races her way out to the early lead. Hanging out on the outside is Brody Wakefield, but he finds himself under attack. Connor Doyon scoots into the second spot, taking David Bernier along with him. That puts Wakefield all the way back to the 4th spot. In 5th, it's the 15 of Wright, and we have a spin between 2 cars, and we are going to have contact. And we look to get him started. And looks like we have perhaps another issue on the backstretch, as it looks like our starting lineup is disjointed. But we throw the green. We're underway. And quickly out comes the yellow. Well, we are back under action. Green flag and a drag race won this time between Brody Wakefield and Aaliyah DeSoma. And Aaliyah has the early lead down the backstretch, but Brody fighting back. They are side by side. Bernier runs in the 3rd spot, and then we have Connor Doyon in the 19, making up our top 4 in the pack as they buzz their way into turn number 1. Then it is Nolan Wright and Leighton Van Houten making up the rest of the field. Locked out on the outside and falling is Brody Wakefield. He's lost the battle for 2nd. Now he's lost the battle for 3rd and has to set up in 4th. And we have a duel on for the lead as Bernier will buzz his way into the front. And a spinning Doyon does a 360 and keeps it going, and we stay under green, but he loses a position on the track to the 15 of Nolan Wright. So good job by Connor Doyon as he did a 360, stuck the landing, and was able to keep going straight, and we stay under green. At the front, it's David Bernier in the lead, and Aaliyah DeSoma trying to track him down. Now, as I said, that 30, very familiar to the front, because that is the former Melania Shalosky car that David is wheeling. And Aaliyah pretty familiar with battling that car, as she did all last season. Bernier at the front, Aaliyah trying to go to the whip, but we have yet to just completed at this race at the quarter pole. Running in 3rd is Brody Wakefield. In 4th, Connor Doyon. 5th is Wright in the 15. Then we have Leighton Van Houten and Aiden Kimmer unable to make it back in the 79. And from the naked eye, it looks like Aaliyah is closing in just a little bit on Bernier. Now, these cars draft just like you would see in Cup cars. So she's going to want to stay as much as she can behind the 30 as he is breaking the air for her so she can get a little bit faster. Looks like she stepped out of line just a little bit as they'll go by Van Houten. They're closing in on Van Houten down in turn number 3. Leighton goes high, allows the field to pass, and Aaliyah digging as hard as she can to try to make an attack on David Bernier, who leads off turn number 2. Then we fall back a little bit to where Brody Wakefield sits in the 0-4. Running in 4th all by his lonesome is Connor Doyon. And the field continues to whirl their way around the track. Halfway home, and your leader is David Bernier. And the difference this time by looks to be like 0.3 of a second between he and Aaliyah DeSoma. We'll see if Aaliyah can cut it down as the laps hit single digits this time by. And she has cut it to just over 0.2 of a second. So she is trying to close in, conserve some energy, and make this a battle over the final couple laps. Even tighter this time by. So Leah DeSoma is closing in on our leader, David Bernier, but does she have enough to get by? 7 laps left this time through. And now it is under a 1/10 of a second. Bernier and Aaliyah battled it out on opening day, blast-off weekend. And they'll be coming up again on the back of the field, so will they play a factor in the final 6 laps? As they slingshot their way underneath the scoreboard and down into turn number 3. Van Houten and Wright get the signals that our leaders are coming. And we'll see what happens. They get by Van Houten. Wright is next on the hit list, and they're in the clear air, and we're down to 4 laps left. Aaliyah trying to come up with a plan to get by David Bernier. Down into turn number 3. Bernier hits his marks. Holds her off. They stay tight to the inside line as Bernier guards his turf. Aaliyah scoots down the backstretch in tow, and they will get the popsicle sticks this time by. DeSoma trying to break the air off of the leader as they whirl down into turn number 1. By about a little more than half a car length, David Bernier leads him back to the white flag. Aaliyah DeSoma knows that the time is running out, and if she is going to make a move on the leader, it's going to have to come now. Bernier into turn number 1. Down the backstretch for the final time. Aaliyah DeSoma pedaling as hard as she can to try to make a move on our leader. Twin checkered flags in the air. They come off turn number 4. Aaliyah gets a little squirrely. That'll cost her the run, and David Bernier will take the win. In second is the 10 of Aaliyah DeSoma. Third was the 04 of Brody Wakefield. Then it is off Aaliyah all the way to the final stages of the race.
Yeah, it was a little difficult because of all the cautions. I just found my points, found my lines, and figured it all out pretty quick.
Yeah, it looks like your goal was to stay as close as you could to the white line, not really like give Aaliyah a shot down low to get a run.
Yeah, I stayed all the way down to make sure I had the track shorter so I could be faster. Sorry.
Who are the folks who help out each and every week on the 30 you need to thank?
McDonald Industries, Greco Ford, and Nest Security Company. But I would like to thank Rondo, Glenn Sharatsky, my dad and my mom for being here to cheer me on, and everyone else that came here.